It's my pleasure to welcome you to the continuation of your news and current affairs program, reaching you live from our Lagos Network studios. I'm Joshua Okata. And of course, I am here with my co-anchor, Messelina Nkwo. Messi, good morning.
Good morning, Josh. How are you doing today?
Very well, thanks.
It's a beautiful Thursday morning.
Sure it is. And we're ready to kickstart
the
day on a good note.
Yeah.
Yes, this morning we'll be looking at party politics, of course, but primarily our focus this morning will be on the emergence of the ADC as a coalition platform for the candidates who are ready, as it were, to make Nigeria work. But of course, on the sidelines, we'll also be looking at the aftermath of the exit of the former national leader of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, and of course, what the view would be going forward as we move closer to 2027 general election. To have this conversation this morning with us, I have joining me is our guest in the person of Mr. Said Ajadi, who is a political affairs analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Joshua. Thank you for having me again.
All right, now let's get into the crux of the matter. Yesterday at Yaradua Center, somewhat a party that looks brand new, especially given the crop of politicians who are fronting it as a veritable coalition vehicle to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What's your take as regards the unveiling of a somewhat new party and the candidates who are frontlining it?
Thank you very much, Joshua, and good morning, Nigerians. I like the word you use, somewhat. For me, ADC is not a new party. And the reality is that we have old bandwagon.
Say that again.
Old bandwagon. Spent politicians coalescing to want to take away APC. I'm a governorship candidate twice of Accord in Oyo State. I'm in the opposition, but I can never is the word, be part of that coalition, even in the opposition. Why? All the people that you have seen in that coalition, they've all been tested by Nigeria. They've all benefited from Nigeria. Question is, what have they given back to Nigeria? Absolutely nothing. Majority of the people you saw at Yaradua Center, because Yaradua Center is the place for Atiku. His godfather was Yaradua, MDA at that time. So it's not a big deal for us that know and we don't have partial amnesia. We have our brain working very well, and so we know these individuals and we have seen them operate. They don't have any iota of benefit for Nigeria and Nigerians. All of them put together. They are there because of hatred for one person, not for APC, but for one person who is the president of Nigeria.
Pause for a minute. Pause for a minute. When I started this conversation, I was very careful about my use of words.
You mentioned
it
the
is not a new party.
It's not.
So can we just
somewhat?
Yes. Can we?
It's an old party.
Can we just leave the issue of the party and look at the agenda? The agenda is not because they hate Bola Tinubu. They want to make Nigeria work.
You mentioned his name. That's why I'm talking about him.
So why do you have an issue? Why do you have an issue coming up with a group of persons who want to make Nigeria work?
Yeah, exactly.
I just answered your question. I
just
told you. They don't have anything to offer Nigeria and Nigerians.
Why do you say so?
Thank you very much. Atiku Abubakar, for instance, I've always talked about Atiku Abubakar. I was in PDP. I cut my tooth in politics from PDP, 2002. I contested Senate under PDP, 2007, against Adedubu's son in Ibadan, who was not screened. I paid millions of naira for those forms. Those forms I can't buy by the street for 20 naira. When we were screening in Eleyele Ibadan, Adedubu's son was still in England. He flew into Ibadan, Lagos, on Saturday morning to contest elections with us. I started politics the same time Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, started elections. Teslim Folari was screened the same day I was screened. So you are not telling me about something that is new. You are telling me about something that has brought us into the forefront. Those people that you have mentioned, they are a waste of time to Nigerians. We should be the concerns of Nigeria now. What do we, Greyhounds, have to offer Nigeria? I told you on Monday, I said, if I am the president of Nigeria, I will do far more than the president is doing now. Why? Because we have seen them at play. Give me an opportunity today. The whole television stations in Nigeria will not have anybody to talk about for the next 6 months but me.
Now, while we wait for you to emerge and have that
so
opportunity,
what I am saying, what I am saying to you is that this coalition that you are mentioning now has nothing to offer Nigerians. But I'm not going to mention APC. I'm not going to mention the president. Yes. I'm going to talk about them and us, because I am also in the opposition.
Okay, you may not like Atiku Abubakar.
No, it's not about...
I'm coming because I know where you stand. Don't use those words. I know where you stand in the scheme of things. You may not like an Atiku Abubakar for several reasons, very much known to you.
He's a time waster.
Yes.
Because he sold all our properties and there's no benefit to Nigerians.
Hold on a bit. There are certain persons within the same coalition forces who have said that he will not form a coalition with any force or forces that are ready to take power from the people. What is your take as regards such ideology?
He would not. Atiku Abubakar, or who are you talking about?
I might not mention it.
Just
I've already singled Abubakar out. The rest of the person, there are some among them who are saying that when it comes to forming coalition, it's about giving power back to the people. Do you have an issue with that?
That's why I said to you, fundamentally, there is no basis, there is no foundation for giving power back to us. You have taken power already, you have taken economy already, you have taken all our assets already. We are just grappling with starting Nigeria afresh. Look, you see, there is no rocket science. There is a synopsis of how we got here today. The president today said, don't pity me. So you cannot pity him. You can tell him straight to the face, Mr. President, we need you to perform more than you are performing.
You know, Mr.
Forget 2027, but deliver to Nigerians what we voted for you for. That is the question today. Not Atiku Abubakar, not El-Rufai. Because those ones that you mentioned, they've had their day. They've had their day.
Mr. Sai,
let the president have his day. 2 years from now, then you can talk about elections. For me, I should think that even the presidency and the people that are around him should be able to shut them down and focus on what they need to do to Nigerians. We need governance.
Mr. Said,
yes, please.
You said something earlier that a lot of those persons joined the coalition because, you know, they hate our president. You mentioned something like the hatred for our president. And in some persons, according to some persons, in the like of Abubakar Malami, who resigned from APC to join the ADC, you
Malami?
know, yeah,
former
the former Minister of Justice and Anthony, yeah,
that's not a good example.
It was you know, he said something about, he said he didn't resign because of hatred or anything. He just wants the, you know, the growth of the country. He wants because of the hardship Nigerians are facing, because of the hardship
Nigeria
and the
for 8 years under Buhari.
So that is why
Malami is a waste of time. Go and see his assets. Go and see his children. Go and see what he's doing with Nigerians. How did he make his money? Most of these people, do they have industries? They made money from Nigeria. They killed Nigeria to develop themselves. Tell me what Malami did before he became the Minister for Justice. Tell me what he did. Tell me the kind of assets he made now. Tell me the kind of money that is in his hand. Because he's not in jail. A lot of people talking today are supposed to be in jail. Face the reality. We're on air. They should be probed and they should be accountable for their 8 years in office. What did he do with the money? Is it not on Malami's watch that someone will go and say we should make Nigeria air? Collect US dollars to hundreds of millions of dollars, cash from the president, and go and paint a plane in Ethiopia, bring it as Nigerian Airways, they commission it as our own plane, 5 hours after he's back in Ethiopia, painted differently. Not even a single plane was bought.
All right.
And is it not under Malami's watch?
No.
Stop talking about all these people. They are just a waste of time.
Oh, wow.
Focus on tomorrow. What do we have? Who are the generation to come that can make us get out of this quagmire? Not all these people that you have mentioned. They can't do shishi for Nigeria.
So you think this coalition will not work?
It's a waste of time.
All right.
Period. It's a waste of time.
That has been
It's not against the president or APC. They are just a bunch of crooks that are trying to waste that time. Tell me the reason why Atiku should not be probed. They gave you $16 billion to give us electricity. He said it with his own mouth. We gave contracts out 100% and not one bulb was lit. And you tell me at my age to listen to such people when my children cannot listen to such people. So how can I listen to Atiku Abubakar when I have all these dossier, how we wasted our time? I have masters that I went to study because of Nigeria. I don't need any managerial psychology. I did it because of Nigeria. I've been doing several things because of Nigeria since 2003. So if we want to cross carpet and check out what we need to do, comparing what we have been able to do and what they in power did for Nigeria.
So you've been talking about Atiku. Let's look
you
at
mentioned him.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mentioned him. Let's look at Peter Obi, who submits a single tenure proposal, to the opposition coalition. Does this reflect the coalition's, or do you think it's a personal stance for him?
Peter Obi's own is a personal stance. He has told you that he doesn't want to be with coalition. He wants to be in his party and be the presidential candidate. So he's not discussing with the coalition. He was going to be co-opted into the coalition. But now he's told everybody, I am alone, I am going to run for presidency, and I'm going to spend a term. Fantastic. He has the right. If I cannot jump to say I want to be a president. I can stoop, do other things so that Nigerians can see. But someday, I will challenge whoever is going to be the president when I have the resources. Because it's time for us to take our destiny in our hands. And I'll prove to you that I'm more capable than the people that are making this coalition right now.
Now, let's look
It's not rocket science. It's very, very easy. There's nothing difficult in governance if you have a fair heart and you want to actually make a change.
Interesting.
That's all. Because you need to have a fair heart and you want to make a change. And you are patriotic. I will shut my eyes to everybody. And I will work for Nigeria and Nigerians alone.
Okay.
And that is very, very easy.
That is actually what the people want.
That is what we're going to do. But we cannot tell you what name we are going to give our child now. If we do that, they will not allow us get there. So we have to stoop and act like a fool. But one day, we will have just one single opportunity. Then Nigerians will change the narrative by themselves. And say, where are these people? Where have they been for so long? All these time wasters. They don't love you. Atiku will go now and go back to Dubai.
We have heard so much about Atiku. Now let's look at
let's
look at the other issues. The former presidential candidates of the same coalition party, the ADC, in the person of Dumebi Kachuku, alongside other members.
Dumebi Kachuku.
Yeah, Dumebi
Kachuku.
You speak and other members
very well.
Pardon me. Other members of the old bloc, as it were, are somewhat, dissatisfied about the involvement of these political, party members coming from the opposition into the party, the likes of the Atikus, the likes of the Obis and the rest of them, saying that they are coming to hijack the party's structure and all that for their own supposedly selfish reason. What's your take as regards?
Definitely, that's what's going to happen. It's not about my take. This is politics.
But he has had his day, isn't it?
Why do you think SDP did not take them? They were going to SDP. Are you forgetting quickly? They were going to SDP now when they started. SDP did not take them. That is why they are in ADC now. What is guaranteed that they are going to end up in ADC? We have a long time to go. A lot is coming.
Could this not be coming from a place of jealousy or what?
It's about hatred. There is no hope.
Who is hating who?
The coalition hates the present government. There is no home that you can build with hatred. Nigeria today, let me tell
I'm talking
you.
about
what-
Dumebi. His reaction
Dumebi
to
is
the
saying
stance
they
now.
will come and take his, they will take his party from him now. They are there to take the party away. Does he have the resources to handle likes of Atiku? When his boys and his gang members, when they come in with their cash, how do you stand? What kind of money does Dumebi have? Forget all these things. We have people that have war chests
All right, now let's
of
look
cash ready to spend for Atiku. They are there.
Now,
because
let's look
Atiku
at-
himself does not have that kind of cash anymore.
Now let's look at the stand where the ruling All Progressive Congress, is. And I want to believe you are not towing that line. They are saying that this sort of coalition of a sort is born out of retired, that's the word they use, retired men who have nothing to offer. But of course, the APC is resolved in retaining that seat come 2027. Is that where you stand on the scheme of things?
The reality is that PDP had their day. These so-called opposition members now, they were all members of PDP. They had their day in office. They spent 16 years of waste. I left PDP in 2010 because of the waste, because I realized that nothing good can come out of these people
So you don't believe a second chance?
I don't believe a second chance at all.
at all. We have been suffering too much. I, for instance, have invested about 24 years of my life in politics. My friends laugh at me. They know the kind of person I am. They know the kind of businesses I do. So they expect me to be in the business world continuously. But you see, we are too many for us not to sacrifice for Nigeria. I cannot go to England. I only go to England to go and do holiday. I cannot go and sit there and be washing plates or taking care of being a nurse and all of that, or of doing negative things that I cannot do in my country. No. But I can work hard and strategically here and make a difference for myself, my family, and my people, because God has given me the intellect to do that.
Okay, so let's talk about Senator Elisha Abo, who described the coalition move as a marriage of convenience. How would you respond to that?
Yes, I've answered that question before. I've told you, the coalition is a waste of time. There is no benefit for Nigeria. Maybe we are here together. God give us long life to see 2027. People are making noise 2020. How many of the people that are making noise about 2027 will be there? You don't have a guarantee of life till tomorrow. Let's assume we are there in 2027. You can't make a difference. This coalition that you are mentioning cannot make a difference to the strategy of APC right now. Who is going to ADC?
With the strategy of APC,
Yes.
given the fact that
Gambia has
governors now
left.
are now moving into the APC. Is that a strategy?
When you look at numbers,
Is that a strategy
hold
you're
on.
referring
I want
to?
I want to answer your question now. When you look, I'm interested in numbers. Like I said earlier, I'm an accountant, I am a managerial psychologist, and I'm a true patriotic Nigerian. Politics is about numbers. Winning the politics is about numbers.
Yeah.
If people are moving to APC, those are numbers. Okay? Quote me. Those are important numbers that are moving into APC. Now, if
Are
they
they
are
moving
let me
because of
finish.
moving sake?
Forget about the reason why they are moving.
Okay.
We are talking about politics. We are talking about end game result 2027. So if they are moving into APC now and the numbers are increasing, it means that if you juxtapose it with what 2023 election, there is a tendency here that they will have more votes.
All right. On the flip side, because we're pressed for time.
You have started being pressed for time
on the
again
flip
today.
side,
Oh,
I
we're
just
sorry
wanted you
about
to
that, sir.
address the sequel, discussion we had previously.
Yes.
What is the aftermath that, given the fact that a Ganduje has left the party, whether or not he stays there is left to be determined. But of course,
Has
like you
left the
said,
seat, you mean?
he has
Yeah,
left the
that's it,
seat.
yeah.
If
He
he has,
hasn't
if
left
he
the
has
party.
left the party, that is a thing he has to decide.
Uh-huh.
But what we know is that he's no longer in the reins of power when it comes to
He's
the
not the
national-
chairman of APC,
Yes,
correct?
yes. Now the issue is this: if he resigned voluntarily or grudgingly, that's his business. The question is, who takes the reins of power? Given what reactions people are giving now that, Well, the president's attention has moved away from the northeast, now moving to the north central. Are we likely to see somebody from the north central taking the seat? And will that influence the block votes the president needs from the north central to secure his seat?
Don't answer my question. Don't answer your own question. Let me answer.
I'm asking you the question.
So
I want you to allow me land.
You have landed. Okay, what I'm saying to you is very simple. Ganduje is from North Central.
All right.
He's the chairman of the party.
Yeah.
So likelihood that they might bring someone from North Central to replace him, so that the North Central will not complain that they have taken their seats.
Who might that person be?
I will not mention because I'm not part of.
Can you let the cat out of the bag?
I am not.
That's why I asked you that question.
I'm not part of APC now.
But who are you guessing?
But the reality is that I'm not guessing. I don't like to guess. Why? Because you see, I have a lot of things in my head right now. So I want them to think for themselves and give us the results. Then we will be able to analyze their results.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you score APC come 2027 if a person from the North Central emerges as a national chairman, as we wrap up the conversation?
The problem is that you cannot wrap it up at that point, Joshua.
Okay, so
you can't, because there are too many things I want to talk about.
So,
is it the truth? Okay, let me allow you to speak.
I quickly want to say this thing. You know, Peter Obi praised Ganduje's resignation as honorable act. You know,
fantastic.
He also said it is important for leaders who are who has health issues to like take care of their health and step down.
Fantastic.
What does this kind of cross-party comment mean for political maturity in Nigeria?
Thank you. That's why he was saying earlier that I'm a member of APC. I said
never said so.
No. We are insinuating. Exactly. But I am just a mature. I'm a mature politician, and my business is Nigeria. I keep mentioning it.
You're concerned about Nigeria.
It's just about Nigeria and Nigerians.
That's what everybody will say there, that they're concerned about Nigeria.
That's why I'm saying to you that we need opportunities to be able to interject. If you have never been tested, you cannot know what you are capable of doing.
So who do you think is going to give us these opportunities? APC?
APC can give us. They are in the ones in the power now.
That's a very brief place to leave the conversation.
We have
Mr.
2 years of APC rule.
Mr. Sai, we're pressed for time. You have said it. APC can give us what we want.
Yes, PDP has 16 years. They didn't give us anything.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sai.
So APC can give us what we want. We are hoping before 2027 that they give us what we want. Then you will see.
But the time that they've been ruling, what about the times that they've been ruling?
Thank you very much. We have spent
just have to leave the conversation.
I think we're out of time.
The conversation because we're pressed for time. Thank you so much, Mr. Said Ajadi.
The pleasure is always mine.
You've had your day today.
No, I've not had my day. You are supposed to give me 1 hour.
We'll come back to another issue some other time.
Please.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for having me always.
All right.
Pleasure is mine always.
Thank you for coming,
So we'll be wrapping up at the same time, and of course, handing you over to our Benin Network studio.